Hi Sagittarius, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. Today's Sag for a meditative session. You guys got the mountain goat. There's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct that. The main message was like, if you feel out of whack, if you feel out of balance, they actually said to go to the doctor. I don't know who needs to hear that. Like, go to the doctor, get everything checked. Another message was to exercise. Another message was to eat good. Another message was to rest. And these are like the basic things that we know, right? It's like, to take care of myself, I need to eat well. I need to exercise. I need to rest. I need to make sure I get checked up on every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like, these are all things that we know. So for some of you, it's just a simple message like that, and it's just a simple solution. Like, maybe you're not resting enough, maybe you're not eating well, maybe you're not exercising. Let's just say you do 3 of the 4, add the 4th thing in, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna feel a lot better. Now, for others of you where this is a much more difficult situation, where something is out of balance in your life, I think you're being called to kind of, I don't know how to explain this, but I'm seeing this as like dimensions. And I feel it's kind of like jumping a timeline, right? Like, you don't have to stay in this particular story. You can literally jump to another one or jump to another one. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have to stay where you are. It's kind of like, maybe you did manifest this storyline, this timeline that you're on, right? Like, maybe you manifested that, and now you realize that you don't necessarily like it. You know what I mean? Or it's not necessarily what you wanted. It's okay to go back, Sag, or it's okay to go to something different. I don't feel like you have to stay where you are. That's for some of you. So yeah, for some of you it was like an easier message, and for some of you it's much more difficult, but I think that at the same time it's an easy adjustment. It's just you deciding to take that leap, right? And I feel like Scorpios was a little like that. It's kind of just like deciding to take that leap and just going for it. And that's what I'm kind of getting with the mountain goat. It's like, you know how the mountain goat, you know how they have that meme where it's like, you see the goats on the cliff and they're very much like looking like they're gonna fall, but they make it up the cliff anyway. That's kind of what I'm getting with you guys. It's like, maybe right now it seems very difficult, but you're gonna get to the top of that mountain. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna feel in balance again. You're gonna be where you need to be. You're gonna make it to like your destination. Maybe right now you're not exactly where you want to be, but you have the potential of getting there. So yeah, that's what I'm getting, Sag. Let's pull some cards. I feel like what you're realizing right now, what's making you feel out of balance, it's kind of like you take a look at your environment and you realize that you've put yourself into a corner. You like played yourself into a corner. That's what it seems like. It seems that you put yourself in a situation where I feel like you think like you can't even get out of it, right? You see how this person is trapped? And here, this person is chained and they're bleeding. It's kind of like you realizing that you played yourself into a corner. Like this is the interesting thing. It seems like you might be a very intelligent person, and you're able to kind of manipulate situations, not in a negative way, right? Not in a negative way, but kind of like the crone, where the crone is so experienced that she kind of just knows like ahead of time what someone's gonna do, not even from just like an intuitive aspect, but because she's so experienced, right? Like she knows like every type of person there is in this world, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not hard for her to gauge a situation or a person. It's like within 5 minutes of meeting that person, maybe even less, 2 minutes of like meeting a person, she straight up knows like who that person is. And she knows exactly what they will like do and won't do. And I think you played yourself in a corner in the sense that you thought that you were kind of playing a person maybe, or again, that you were controlling a situation. And then you come to find out that that person is like playing you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you thought that you were like the type of person that could never, you know what I'm saying? It's like you thought that you were the best at this game, and then someone's kind of like, what's that called when you're like you got hustled basically. Yeah, Sag, that's what I'm feeling. It's like you got hustled. And I think it's to show you a lesson. And I think the lesson is that I don't think it's right for you to, again, it's okay to be like in this energy of the crone where, again, you understand situations, you understand people, and you can read a situation easily and you can manipulate it in your direction. You can like kind of, you know how people are going to react to certain things, so you know exactly what to say. Like that's who I feel like I'm talking to. And I feel like someone outplayed you at your own game. Like that's really what it feels like. But I think that it was all meant to happen for a reason. And I think it was kind of like a humbling of yourself, because with this Page of Coins, it's like, I think you see in the ways that you've done it in your life, like you did that to people and they were kind of trusting of you and you kind of like put them in a corner. And now it's like interesting because someone is putting you in a corner. You know what I mean? Like someone is putting you in that corner, and that's why Judgment came out. I think it's like, so you can see where you've done that to someone else, right? It's kind of like, maybe if it's like someone is doing something to you that you don't necessarily like, but you did that to somebody else. Do you know what I'm saying? So now you will be judged, and now you're gonna take a look. It's like, so you can see the way that you did that in the past. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like someone played you at your own game, basically. And it's unfortunate, but it's actually a really positive thing to me. I see it as a positive thing because now you know like where you did that to someone. Do you know what I'm saying? And now you know where you might have manipulated a person or a situation. Not, again, it's not a manipulation. I don't really get a double energy from it. I get more of like, you're just smart and you kind of take advantage of a situation perhaps, or of a person perhaps, because you know that they're not like, they won't realize it, and you're just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, again, but you played someone anyway at their own game. You know what I mean? I mean, someone played you at your own game. Someone did, right? And that was the whole point of this. So I feel like you're kind of getting that. I think there's something you did maybe in the past, and maybe you behaved in a certain type of way, right? I'm trying to give an example. I don't know. It's in a way of kind of getting what you want. So let's just say like you wanted to move in with someone. I don't know. I'm just like getting an example. And you knew that like you needed a problem with your apartment to move in, right? So you had to like kind of, I don't know. It's like you burst a pipe in your own apartment so that like you could go move in with somebody. And it's like, it's their idea, but you were the like match behind it. You were the catalyst, right? So you know that your boyfriend or girlfriend is going to say like, oh, move it, like stay with me until that gets fixed. But that's technically going to just put you in that apartment. Do you know what I'm saying? Because and then once you start staying for like 2 weeks or a week, you're just never going to leave, right? So you're getting what you want, but in a very kind of manipulative way. And I don't feel like there's any harm really being done. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like a harmful thing. You're not harming anyone, but that's what I'm getting with this reading. It's someone who's very smart and takes matters into their own hands in a sense, but now it's like someone has done that to you, right? Someone outplayed you. And I think you're realizing now your own behavior, and when you used to do that, or you've done that in your life, and you're like, wow, I met someone who does the exact same thing as me, I wonder why. Well, the reason why is so that you can recognize that behavior in yourself, right? So it's like, you know, if you do something to others all the time, the universe is going to send you someone exactly like you so that you can take a look at your own behavior and see like, oh shit, like I shouldn't be doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, whereas I don't see it as a negative thing necessarily, I see it as a more of a kind of manipulative thing. I see that someone played you at your own game, and now you're really realizing maybe what you did to someone else. And that's what this reading is about. It's like you're realizing now where you did that. And I think it's all positive. I think it's all positive because you're coming at this as a page. And I like that as well, because it's like you're being freed from this behavior. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're cutting that behavior out, right? And you're kind of starting again. And you see all this white and you see this fresh start and the sun coming up. It's like a fresh start for you because you're recognizing that within yourself. And you're like, I don't want to be that person anymore. So that's like one thing that I'm getting from this reading, a really big thing. And it was all brought to kind of bring balance into your life, right? Because this is sort of a balancing out, right? It's like that behavior wasn't important. And now, you know, that behavior wasn't acceptable, really. Again, it's kind of like, why would you want to manipulate someone that you care about, right? I feel like this is a relationship thing. Like, again, how I was saying someone wants to move in, so they kind of like break something in their apartment so that the other person will just invite them. And it's kind of like that. I think that that's still, again, a manipulation. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but again, something that I think that they put it right back at you so you could recognize it and stop doing it. So you're not doing it anymore. That's positive. That's what I feel like they want you to take. That was the balancing that they brought back. They brought for you. Now we have this whole other thing going on here where it's like you're looking back in hindsight at what this behavior has made you, like where you did this behavior and like what you lost doing this behavior. And again, maybe someone was onto you in the past and they kind of let you go because of this behavior. But there's something about this behavior that now that you're changing it, you're recognizing that like, okay, maybe this person that's doing this to me isn't someone that I want to necessarily be with. And at the same time, maybe, you know, I did this to a person and I see now how they must have felt in that situation. Like someone was knew I was doing that to them and they didn't necessarily like it. You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe you want to apologize. Maybe you want to reach out to somebody and say, you know, I'm sorry for doing that. I kind of see like what I did and I'm sorry about that. But I feel like there's something in your head that's telling you like you can't go do that. Like that this person, there's a temptation here, right? Like not a temptation, it's kind of like if you go reach out to them, they're not going to even answer. Or if you go and you talk to them, they're not going to even be there. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's the point? You're being kind of, your fears are creating a block for you in a sense where maybe you do want to go apologize to someone, or maybe you do want to reach out, but you don't want to, at the same time, you don't want to. You think that it's like fruitless. Like there's no point, right? There's no, like this person's not going to answer, so what's the point? You're like talking yourself out of it. But what I'm getting with this Sag is that even though this conversation might be very difficult, because like, again, you recognize this in yourself now, and you're like, shit, like I did this to this person. I must have been like an asshole. Like I feel badly about it, but like what can I do? I feel like what you can do is start something new, right? Even if it's apologizing, again, even if this person doesn't answer, I think the best thing that you could do is, again, like call yourself out for it. And maybe like you don't have to go apologize to everybody, but I feel like there's someone here that you do want to apologize to. I feel like there's somebody here that like maybe left you because they saw you not in the best energy, or you did this to someone and like they didn't like it and they kind of like, you know how that person felt. Again, I'm not sure exactly in what this is in. My example is like trying to get into an apartment with someone, but it could be like a different example. But you see where you messed up, and I think that's why you're sitting in this energy with the Emperor. You see like with the Emperor twice. So you see where you messed up, and you want to say something, and this is something new for you, right? Kind of like because this is this isn't something that you recognize. You know, it's like when you get in a relationship with someone, it's like a karmic relationship, and the whole point of the relationship is to teach you something that you're doing wrong, right? So, you know, there's a person who likes to argue, but like at the end of the day, like arguing makes them it like turns them on to like argue with you, and you just see them fighting with you all the time, but then like you guys make up very like passionately, let's say, but you realize like this person's parents do the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And you recognize a pattern in someone, and you're like, holy shit. But then maybe like you were doing the same thing to someone else, or maybe like there's a part of you that like, do you know what I'm saying? There's something that, a part of you that attracted that. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. There's a karmic relationship for a reason. And I feel like you want to get out of that and start something new. And I feel like the first thing that you should do is like, again, there's maybe someone that you did this to, and you're recognizing that, and you're like, shit, I should have never done that, but I don't think this person will forgive me, right? And you're sitting here in the 5 of Cups and the Moon. You're like very confused at the fact that you don't know if they're going to answer your text. You don't know if they're going to answer your call. You don't know what they're going to do, but you just want to like extend yourself in a way that's kind of like, I'm different now. Like I've changed. Like I'm not like that anymore. Like I see when I did this and I feel badly about it, right? And I feel like you're learning this very quickly, right? Because we go from the 4 to the 8. So I think that this is something that you're learning really quickly. Again, like this lesson that you've been given has really like pinpointed an area in your life where you did that to someone else and you feel badly about it. I feel like you want to like, again, you feel more aligned now, recognizing this behavior in yourself, and you want to like extend yourself to somebody. But, and I don't see that there's any problem with that. I think like you want to say something to someone, you want to extend yourself in a way, and you want to do it quickly and like passionately to someone. And I feel like you know what you should be doing, like with the Hierophant and the High Priestess. I think that this is the right idea. Like you already intuitively know that that's kind of what you should do, right? But I think the only thing that's holding you back is fear, right? And fear for like what might happen, and maybe fear for the past, and like maybe you're feeling guilty, right? But I see that, I see that you have to follow your intuition right now. Like with the High Priestess, the Hierophant, and and the intuition card, it's like you have to follow your gut feeling about this. And if you feel like you should go do something about it, then go do it. Again, I feel like you want to relay this message to someone that you've changed, right? With the Knight of Cups, that you're different now, that like you've been balanced out, that you've been taught a lesson, you know, by that reflection that was given to you, and you didn't like it, and you saw who it was that you were, and you were like, I don't like that about me, I'm gonna change. And I hate like people like, oh, people never change. People do change. Like I know that's like a naive kind of thing to think, but I do think that people can change and have the ability to change. And I see someone here going through a cycle where they're getting shown exactly what it is that they did to someone else. Do you know what I'm saying? And that is like putting someone in a, oh my God, like holy shit moment. And I feel like intuitively, you know what you want to do, and you want to communicate that you've been balanced out. Again, maybe this energy is reversed and this is someone else. This isn't you, Sag, this is someone else. I mean, again, pick the energy, but I see here with the Lovers that you have a decision to make. And I think that the person that you might have done this to might have been your wish fulfillment. They might have been someone very important in your life, and I feel like you kind of want to manifest that again. And you have that decision to make right now as to whether you should go follow your intuition and follow like that. I think what's making you feel out of balance is the fact that you recognize this now, and now you're looking at yourself and you're realizing that someone must see you that way, right? You're like, someone must see me the way that I'm looking at this person that's doing it to me, and now I understand why they kind of left, or I understand why, you know, there's like a falling out between you and this person. And now it's kind of like, okay, I recognize that energy within myself. Will someone give me the chance to kind of make it right? Like, is this person going to believe that I changed? And there's so much about this intuition that's screaming at you to go do this, right? To not be afraid of doing something different for a change, maybe reaching out to someone. Maybe you've been very prideful in the past. Again, there's many things that I feel like were out of balance. Maybe it's not just this. Maybe it was you were very proud, Again, and reaching out is something that like you never thought like you'd be the one reaching out, but you are. There's a lot of things here that I feel like you're recognizing about yourself, and you're realizing that it's not going to work if you keep acting in the way you do. You have to do something different, and you're trying to like balance yourself out basically, right? This is kind of reminding me of the Temperance card, right? The balancing out your life with the Temperance, right? So you're being guided to do something, and I feel like what you don't understand is that this is going to lead you to some sort of stability in your life with the 10 of coins and the King of coins, right? I feel like if you decide to go and do whatever it is that you want to go do, right? I feel like if you do decide to offer yourself to someone else or speak to someone else, apologize to someone else, again, just maybe an oath to yourself to never be like this. But again, there's something specific that you want to go do, right? I feel like it involves another person. It involves this new beginning for you, right? Now that you've been balanced out, you see, and you want to kind of go. But I think that they're just trying to confuse you at this time. Maybe it's your subconscious, like your own self-sabotage, but there's an energy here of, oh, don't go do that, that's stupid. Don't go do that, that's dumb. But I see you trying to really go, right? And I feel like you're very confused. Like we have the moon 4 times here. Maybe you have Cancer in your chart. Maybe you have a lot of water in your chart. Maybe this person has a lot of water in your chart. But maybe the guidance is to trust the emotions that you're getting, right? Maybe your intuition's same as like emotions, right? What is it that you're feeling right now? Don't think about it so much, and think more about what it is that you're feeling. And I feel like what you're feeling is to go somewhere, right? To leave maybe to leave this person. Maybe that's all this is, like leaving this toxic person behind. And you're like, well, I do the same thing, so maybe I'm toxic. Yeah, like maybe you were toxic in the past, but you don't have to be anymore. I feel like you already know that, and I feel like you've already dropped this person. For everybody's going to be different, like where you're at, what you need to do to balance yourself out. Whether it's recognize this behavior in yourself, that's the first step. 2, leaving the person that does that to you, that's the second step. Third step, maybe reaching out to someone that you did this to and realizing how imbalanced you were at the time, and realizing that like, yeah, maybe I should apologize, or just, telling them different now. And I think what you don't understand is that leaving this person behind, communicating to someone else that you were wrong and you're sorry, or just recognizing this behavior is going to bring you to that 10 of coins, King of coins, into the ultimate stability, right? And they're telling you, I feel like, oh, if you make this offer, like this is the back of your mind, like, oh, if you make this offer, if you do this, this person's not going to care. You know what I mean? They don't care. But this person will care, and this person will respond if that is what you want to do. If you're going to leave, then that is going to bring you the ultimate stability. Do you know what I'm saying? There's something here about once you decide to go towards what you've been feeling like doing, right, with the cups and the moon, then you're going to end up exactly where you're meant to be. So just again, everybody's at a different point, but this puts you in Empress energy. Maybe I'm talking to a masculine, not necessarily. And that's what you have to balance out. Like you've been balancing yourself out, and I feel like most of you are already here, but some of you are still here. So yeah, wherever it is that you are. But the funny thing is, I feel like you're going back. That's why I feel like you're like talking to someone maybe from the past, because we have this energy of like going backwards, right? So I feel like maybe people always say like don't look in the past, but I think this is important for you, because you have to recognize where it was that you did this to someone else. It's kind of like where you were a karmic to someone, you know what I mean? Recognizing that you were in your shadow maybe at some point. And it's okay. We all are, you know what I mean? We all have been in this position. So yeah, it's like up to you what you want to do. I see you moving backwards to fix something with someone, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Let's pull a Divine Feminine for you. So Sag, I feel like you're upset because you're realizing something and you're like, it's too late, right? It's too late. I already messed this opportunity up with a person. You know what I mean? I recognize this now as too late, and it's not. It's not too late. Sag, it's not too late for whatever it is that you want to do. Remember, you're going to end up in more stability. Again, if this is about a person that you want to apologize to, again, if this is something, there's something about moving backwards, right? And they're telling you with Queen Esther, the morning star, My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. You have to trust the way that this happened. And I know that that's like very annoying to say, because it's like, you don't know what I'm going through right now, but trust, they're telling you, trust in your soul's divine timing. Trust that this is when you were meant to receive this message. You know, some people they will never recognize this message. They will never get to this point. So just trust in the fact that you got there and that this is the right timing, right? Because this is when you were ready. And everything kind of had to play out the way that it played out for it to happen this way. Do you know what I'm saying? For you to recognize this. The most important thing is that you could recognize this. I think, again, you're saying no. The most important thing is like something else. But no, now that you recognize it, you can do something with that information. Do you know what I'm saying? They're telling you that fear is louder than love sometimes, right? Like fear can be louder than what your soul is telling you to do, what love is telling you to do, right? And like the fear is just your ego trying to protect you from avoiding like an outcome, but you're not even sure like this person would ignore you. You're not even sure if this person will answer you. I think you think like you've messed up to the point where there's no point in like going back, but I'm telling you, with this, all this like backwards energy, even with the goat looking backwards, I feel like there's something that you're meant to do. There's something here that you're meant to look at, even though maybe you don't understand that yet, or you think it's better for you to just possibly leave someone alone. And you know what? The best thing I could do is just, leave them alone. No, I think that even if it's just an apology, that is what you're meant to be doing at this time. You're supposed to go back for something. And again, trust the timing, trust why this happened this way, and trust that anything that that your ego is telling you is fear at this time. And you don't need that. You don't need to listen to that. Like, you have this opportunity to do something different, to do something in a different way. And I think that that's what's the most important, just doing it. Even though it's different and it feels uncomfortable, I think it's the right way, as opposed to the way you were doing things possibly in the past. So yeah, Sag, I hope this reading resonates. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.